A young man up here who's young to the game of coaching and is doing a great job for us at the defensive line position and making sure things get done. Andy's going to talk to you about the program, how recruiting works. He's going to give you some real statistics as well. You know, because bottom line is that a lot of our kids have these dreams, and I have them as well. You know, some kids are going to be gifted to have those opportunities. Others, we're going to have to work at it a little bit. But the bottom line is that I want to make sure that we're up front in regards to what we're looking at recruiting-wise, and that, you know, there are some things that I want you guys to know. Andy's going to share his role in the recruiting department, what he does from the top to the bottom, from when they come in to as they leave, and what his role is, and how we're going to implement those things. So, without further ado, our defensive line coach as well as our recruiting coordinator, Mr. Andy Aiello.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm talking about a little bit recruiting right now. The first part, we're going to talk about exactly what our recruiting program is and what we're doing with it. On one aspect, towards the lower levels of education in the middle schools. Right now, we just got done taking our visits over there, me and Coach Camilla, and it was a great experience talking to those kids. And really, what that's for is we're going to just talk to the kids, give them the information, you know, invite them to our youth camp, invite them to come by and catch a practice if they can, or catch a game. We definitely want to get those guys involved early and let them know where we're going. Talk about the history of us. We're a winning tradition. That's what we are here. Whether it's not been in the last couple of years or whatever, however you want to see it, we're a winning team. On the other side of that is dealing with the colleges. Coach Kumelli and myself, we're the ones that are really in contact with those guys. When they come by, you know, they're either talking with me or they're talking with him. And what I want to talk about that part is a couple of things that the kids need to understand and the parents as well. The first thing, and it goes back to our academic program and taking it to the next level on that is a great thing. Because the first thing college coaches, when they come by and they ask me, the first thing they say is, let me see his transcript. Second thing they ask me is, let me see his SAT score. The last thing they ask me is, let me see his film. If they're coming here to see a kid, they already know what kind of kid he is, you know, on the field. They know what he can do. They know he has height, you know, he's a big kid, or he's fast. They already know that. But they got to see his transcripts and SAT scores. They got to see if they can even get him into the college first. Then they'll talk about scholarships and all that other stuff. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. That's the first thing. That's why we're so you know, hard on them and pushing them to try to excel in academics. Because it's the #1 thing they ask for. And with that said, a lot of kids, you know, they think, well, you know, hey, I didn't do too well, you know, freshman year or whatever, but hey, I'm doing great in my senior year because I take, you know, easy classes. That's not how it works. It starts from your freshman year. So if you have, you know, 5, 6, 7 Fs your freshman and sophomore year, you got to turn it around. You got to turn it around yesterday. Because if it's like that, you're making it a lot harder on yourself. Like I said, when colleges come, they talk to Coach Camilla and myself, and I think the parents need to understand is it's a business. It's not just football, it's a business. Just like the NFL. They're going to invest a lot of money in your kid. You know, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for their education, and they want to make sure that kid is the kid that they see on film and hope he's doing the right things off the field. You know, and big thing with that is potential. You know, how good are you now? How good can you be in 6 months, in a year, you know, 2 years from now? Are you going to mature mentally? Are you going to mature physically? Do you have that great work ethic that we're trying to instill in our mission statement? Are you disciplined? Are you doing the right things? Are you taking care of your grades? The main thing is your character. What are you doing when nobody's watching? Are you working out while everybody else is working out? You know, those types of things. Those are huge. Those are huge. That's why they're so important to us, and that's why they're in our mission statement. Moving on with that is the recruiting stats. And I just want to throw some stats out there so all the parents and the kids understand. Okay, because it's really hard to play at the next level, especially Division I. A reality check for a lot of people. Okay, not every kid, and some of us know, not every kid is a Division I kid. We know that. But we got to deal with it. We got to face it. Okay? Maybe my kid's not 6'5", 260 pounds. You know, doesn't mean he can't go play football at the next level. We just got to understand where he's going to fit in. The next thing, only about 6% of all high school football players are going to move on to the next level. There's roughly right around 1 million, maybe a little bit more than that, kids playing high school football. 6% are moving on. And that 6% doesn't mean just Division I. That's Division I, Division II, Division III. You know, and it doesn't mean that you can't go and play at the next level, you know, but it's going to be hard. But if you do the right things, if you take care of academics, that work ethic, that character, that discipline we're talking about, you know, you're going to give yourself a better chance to get recruited. And with that is, you know, junior colleges. There's 1 million junior colleges out there, and I can tell you this. If your kid wants to play at the next level, if he's truly, you know, loving the game of football and loving the camaraderie you build with your teammates, you know, the family environment, and he wants to continue playing, there's a place out there somewhere. It may not be in California, but it's somewhere out there. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. And that's a great route to go. A lot of guys mature when they go to junior college, especially mentally. You know, it's a great thing for them. Next thing, moving on with the NCAA rules and info, just a couple of things with that. So everybody's on the same page with myself and Coach Camille on the recruiting. There's certain rules that the colleges have to abide by, and I don't know if everybody knows that. I just want to touch base. There are certain times when they can contact you, when they can't. Certain times when you can contact them, when you can't. You know, your sophomore year, you can basically, what you can do is you can get questionnaires and you can go to a couple of camps. That's about it. You're not allowed to get phone calls. You're not allowed to do this and that. So, you know, when you're a young guy, when you're freshman, sophomore, and your parents with them, you know, your kid may be a stud, but don't rush into it and say, well, why is this not happening? Why is so-so? It just takes time, and there's rules that they got to go with. When that time comes, when you do get to your junior year is really where they can start contacting you. It's later on in your junior year. And when that time comes, we'll deal with it. I'll deal with it, and we can sit down with you and make kind of a game plan and go from there. But until then, we all need to just worry about taking care of the things that we have here right now. Moving on to the wrap-up. With the recruiting that we're doing, I want everybody to understand, and Coach Camille as well, I want to understand, when we're doing this recruiting, this is not, we're not saying we're guaranteeing your son to get a scholarship or even get looked at. That's not what we're doing. What we want to do is when a kid does get some interest from colleges, we want to provide the college and the parents and the kid as much information and anything that we can to help them get a great evaluation. Most of us on this stage have been through the recruiting process. Okay, so we know what goes on, we know how things work. Like I said, you know, we're going to do everything we can to help your kids when they do get interest. And we know a lot of colleges, whether it's a JC or a Division I, we know a lot of colleges and a lot of coaches. So we're going to do everything we can to help your kid get to the next level when he gets some interest in college. You know, and hopefully he's lucky enough to get that chance to move on. You know, but like I said, going back to our mission statement, taking care of those little things, you know, character, academics, commitment to the community. Those may seem like little things to some people, but those are huge. The little things add up, and they make the big picture a great picture. What I want to finally say to you guys is, all the parents, and you can get upset if you want, you need to understand this. We don't make the decision who gets recruited. We don't decide what colleges come and talk to your kid, or if any colleges come. So everybody needs to understand that. Okay, they're going to decide who they want to talk to, when they want to talk to them, not us. Now, when they come, we can make suggestions. We can make suggestions, and you know, maybe they'll say yeah, maybe they'll not even hear what we say. All right. But I just wanted everybody to understand it, because I know a lot of times, you know, people think, well, this and that, and it's not true. So I just want to make sure we understand. Finally, what I want to kind of relate this whole deal to is the NFL draft that's coming up. I know a lot of you guys are probably football fans. That's why you guys are here. Saw an interesting thing with a couple of the head coaches in their interview. They're asked why, or what's the biggest thing that you look for, you know, at the combine? You know, is it the 40? Is it the vert? Is it the bench? And I'll tell you what, every coach, their first response was, no, it's not any of that. It's their interview. What kind of guy is he off the field? Is he doing the right things? Like I said, when nobody's looking. You know, is he getting in trouble? Is he hanging out with the wrong guys? What's he doing? What's the deal? You know, if he's a great athlete, that's fine. But we want a guy that's a great athlete and a great person. And that's what we're trying to build here. Great athletes and great kids. Go back and get back to the community just So I just want to touch base on all that stuff, and I thank you guys.
All right, it's fourth quarter. It's 7 o'clock.